this is the 1900 stream sketch. So I've done 1,900 of them. And I'm really glad, really thankful, I should say, that I've had so many. And so let me get to the piece. This, they wanted the two characters, they're enemies. And of course, I wanted a mouse eye view. And the one of the immediate ideas that came forth was, you know how in manga, uh, for exaggeration purposes, like it doesn't reflect the actual character sizes, but in like a battle or intense like moment, they'll have one character look extra huge in face of the smaller one, and that's the idea behind this. So you could see it as a scene from a manga or something, and he's about to face off with um, an enemy, and so the enemy looks larger than what he really is, and so I started. This was pretty smooth commission. I mean, I didn't have to change too much in the anatomy, like as I went along. And sometimes that's how I judge a piece. I'm like, okay, uh, how many times do I have to erase this shit to uh, make it look as if it's correct? And so, uh, but thankfully, I didn't have to erase too much. I don't think. And this was one of the pieces where I just, like I said, it was just it was smooth, and I wasn't really thinking about anything. God, I can't even remember what I was thinking about when I was working on it. I was just, like, I swear, sometimes I think I've gotten to a point where I'm just automatic. Oh, it'll just automatically go with what looks right, my hand, while I think about whatever the hell I just happen to need to think about at the moment. I would prefer to always think of like the story behind the piece, but sometimes that's not it. And I'm like thinking about other shit. But oh, and it's like the piece itself like snaps me out of it when I see something that's clearly wrong. Cause then I'll be like, oh, okay, let me fix that, and then I'll go back to my daydream while I'm working. and um and so I know I wanted something on his cutoff arm, and the strap over was just in the moment, because I was just gonna do the over the little accessory across on the cutoff arm, but I was like, it'll look right. It looked better if it was a strap thing. But I think I gave him a strap thing before, and but the main it's funny. I don't know much about the characters, but I already had like, thankfully I had like a pretty clear idea of where I wanted it to go. Usually I just have a basic sketch and I have a loose idea, but every so often it'll like work out more or less how I imagined it. Um, and this was one of those cases, because usually I just like to go with the flow. I don't like to have a set image like that it needs to be. I learned that ages ago. I think I was in some kind of class. I was in like junior high, I think, or high school, early high school. And he was like, "Don't like take it too serious." I don't know. He said something, but how I interpreted it was, don't. It doesn't have to be exactly as you imagine it. As long as it's along the lines, or just like have it, just play off the loose idea and then work from there. Don't have anything that's too set, because then it'll never be exactly as you want it. And so I always have like just a loose idea, and if it fits the loose idea, it's a success. And I can't wait to work on more comics. Uh, I like doing fight scenes the most. No, fight scenes are fun, and with like single images, I love grief, like heartbroken grief, like devastating grief, I should say. That's my favorite to do, and fight scenes. Those are my two faves. And yeah, I just realized I haven't done a fight scene for a stream in a long ass time. It just never came up, I guess. But yeah, I could have done a action with these, but I think it was one of those blip images, one of those blimp ideas. Like sometimes, as I'm working on a sketch, it's like in quick succession, like very quick. All these ideas will come through, and the one that seems the strongest, i.e., the quickest, that's the one I lean towards, and it just becomes more clear and more clear until it's like a good enough foggy that I could use it as a loose idea and then just go with that. Because the thing about streams is not only do I want to have a decent pick, um, like I don't aim to be perfect. I mean, it's a sketch, and if I was aiming to be perfect, it would take even longer. But like as long as it looks good, that's the main key. And then as I get to know the client, if they keep coming back for more, then I start to understand what they like, and I'll automatically try to gear towards what I think they'll like their tastes. And it's easier when it's sex. Like if it's porn, it's much easier to figure it out that way. Because I have a couple of clients where I just take note of if they do have a client direction and it's sex. I take note of what they're asking for, and I'm like, oh, they must like that. And then it does become like a kind of a theme with what they generally ask for. And so, whenever they don't have the client direction, I try to use that experience to um, make something that they'll dig. Of course, it doesn't always work, but I think it. I hope it works most of the time, at least. And I really wish I could do. I really wish. Um, I think I can't wait till the day that I could do just free work for people, because I don't like client direction in anything. I think part of that I think is because I've starved myself of working for myself. Like I'm always focused on trying to hustle and make money, so that's why I rarely do personal work. And Epitome is up there with what I need. I mean, it's really everything that I want and need, but still, I need money to pay bills and stuff. So I try to balance, but it's so hard. And so I think it's because of that starvation for like years, almost a decade. Yeah, almost a decade now. It's just starving myself of myself, like not applying. Like most of the like, if you count up, like I have 1,900 streams, but I probably only have like 20 personal pieces, and so I guess it's starting to get to me. It started to get to me months ago, like last year, a year ago. But anyway, yeah. But I do want to do free sketches because the idea of that feels better to me, and it feels like I'm giving back. And I have like a list of people I want to give free work to. Like every so often, if I'm like bored and not doing anything, I'm like, hey, you want free stuff, artwork? And then I could just invite them to like a stream, and it'd be open to everyone, but the pieces would be theirs, would be like from their direction, and I'll just give it. But that's not for like a few years. That's definitely a few years away. where I could just do that. Well, I'll have the time, and I'll be financially stable enough to afford to do that. And but I look forward to it. I really want to do that, especially with like a few clients that like have hundreds of pieces. I just want to like free art forever. uh, I think that'll make me feel better. I believe in balance, and that'll make me feel like I've paid them back for their kindness. Even though it's they're getting what they want, but still, I feel it's a kindness to commission someone. Like you're giving them money for art, and like art is a privilege. It's not like a necessity. So it's like they don't have to go to you; they could go to someone else. And so I really appreciate when I'm able see. Oh, and this adds to the now go back to the piece, cause it's pretty basic. See, it was just an action scene I wanted to do, and I've been really like in depth lately, and I always have, but I've been trying to take the time to do depth with pieces, even though this is just line art. But yeah, this is like a manga scene, and he's about to face off against the enemy. But thank you. Okay, bye.